7 signs stressing you. And for many people, it's already happening, without them realizing it. Stress is not always coming from work, responsibilities, deadlines. Sometimes, it comes from the space you live in every day. Your home. And it may already be affecting how you feel every day. The place where your body is supposed to rest, recover, reset. But instead, it stays slightly alert. Not enough to fully notice, but enough to feel over time. Because the nervous system is always responding to the environment. Air, light, clutter, moisture, sound. These signals are processed constantly by the body, even in the background. And when they are slightly off, the body never fully relaxes. This is not a sudden change. It is gradual, subtle, and consistent. Stress does not always feel intense. Sometimes it feels like tension, fatigue, restlessness, or a constant sense that something is not quite right. And over time, that becomes your baseline. If this resonates, like, share, and subscribe so we can build a community that pays closer attention to the small environmental changes shaping our health every day. In this video, we are walking through 7 subtle signs your home may be keeping your body in a constant state of stress. Several are extremely common. And once you recognize them, they become easier to correct. Pay attention to how many of these feel familiar. Let's begin. Sign 1. You feel better when you leave your home. Many people notice a shift the moment they step outside. Breathing feels easier. The body feels lighter. There is a subtle sense of relief. Even a short walk can feel refreshing. But when you return home, that feeling fades. The body tightens again. Breathing feels slightly heavier. This contrast is one of the clearest signals that your indoor environment is affecting your body. Air quality, airflow, environmental conditions. All of these play a role. And the nervous system responds immediately. And that response often happens without you noticing it. This is not about awareness. It is about automatic response. Sign 2. You feel tense without a clear reason. There is no obvious stressor. Nothing urgent. Nothing demanding your attention. But the body feels tight. Shoulders hold tension. The jaw feels slightly clenched. The mind stays active. This happens when environmental signals keep the nervous system in a low-level alert state. The cause is not always obvious. But the body is responding to something. And this is more common than most people realize. Small environmental imbalances can create constant background tension. Not strong, but persistent. Sign 3. Your sleep feels light or inconsistent. You fall asleep. You stay asleep. But you wake up unrested. The body never fully settles. Air quality, temperature, subtle disturbances. These prevent deep sleep from stabilizing, even when you are not aware of it. And this repeats night after night. The body stays in a lighter sleep state. Recovery becomes incomplete. And over time, fatigue builds. Sign 4. You feel mentally drained at home. Even without doing much. The brain processes environmental input constantly. clutter, lighting, air quality, noise. Each of these demands attention, even if you are not consciously aware of it. Over time, this creates mental fatigue. The home feels less restorative. You may feel the need to leave just to reset your mind. At this point, a pattern starts to emerge. These are not isolated problems. They are connected. They are all signals. Sign 5. You notice subtle physical discomfort. Dry throat. Slight congestion. Head pressure. Nothing extreme, but consistent. The body is responding to environmental conditions. Airborne particles, humidity, chemical exposure. The signals are small, but continuous. The nervous system stays engaged. The body never fully shifts into a relaxed state. And this often shows up as discomfort that has no clear cause. Sign 6. Your home feels harder to relax in at night. Even when everything is quiet. The body does not fully settle. The mind remains slightly active. You may feel tired, but not calm. Lighting, airflow, environmental consistency. These influence how safe the space feels. And the nervous system adjusts to that signal. If the environment feels unstable, the body stays alert, even when you are trying to rest. Sign 7. You cannot fully switch off. Even when you try, there is a lingering sense of alertness. Not intense, but constant. This is one of the most important signals, because it reflects a pattern. The environment is preventing the nervous system from fully relaxing. And over time, that affects everything. Energy, sleep, mood. This is where many people feel stuck. They rest, but do not recover. They sleep, but do not recharge. On their own, these signs seem small, easy to dismiss, easy to ignore. But together, they form a clear pattern. Because the nervous system responds to patterns, not just major events. Small signals, repeated every day, shape how the body feels. Your home is not neutral. It is constantly communicating with your body. Those signals determine whether you relax or stay slightly on edge. And once you begin to notice these patterns, things start to change. Home wellness begins with awareness, not perfection. Small changes shift the environment. Better airflow, balanced light, cleaner air, simpler spaces. These adjustments reduce the signals that keep the body alert. And when the environment changes, the body follows. Because stress is not always something you carry. Sometimes, it is something you live inside. And most people never realize it until they change it. If this helped you see your space differently, like, share, and subscribe for more ways to support your well-being at home. Because wellness doesn't begin with what you do. It begins with where you live every day. Thanks so much for watching, and catch you in the next informative video.